The man remained conscious as he felt the killer slowly position the nail against the back of his skull. With a heavy hammer blow, the iron nail instantly pierced his scalp, drilled through the skull, and penetrated brain tissue. The massive impact plunged his vision into darkness. Yet the killer didn't stop, calmly retrieving a second nail and choosing a spot slightly left of center. Bang! Another hammer strike drove the nail through again. 1, 2, 3 nails followed, each hammer blow accompanied by the sickening crack of fracturing bone. When the others heard the noise and reached the basement, Crow still clung to life. Paige demanded to know who did this.
Baphomet.
Moments later, Crow breathed his last. They then discussed what to do with Crow's body, and Floyd suggested moving him to the cold storage room to place it with the other corpses. Everything felt mechanical now, even death losing its power to shock. But before moving the body, Kawayan pulled out his phone to take pictures. Blake immediately berated him for desecrating the dead, accusing him of treating everything as art material. Adriana, nearby, eagerly offered to join the photography, only to be scolded as a sick freak. After the brief clash, the corpse was dragged away. Andy visited Paige's room to check on her. Although Paige had calmed down, she told Andy that she had noticed a pattern in the way each victim was killed. Chef Hemingway was boiled alive, and Portia's heart was removed. Andy speculated that Crow's brain had been destroyed because he possessed some kind of psychic ability, perhaps allowing him to communicate with the dead, which could explain the brutality he suffered. His explanation brought no comfort, only amplifying Portia's terror. If even a psychic met such an end, what might the killer do to them? As Floyd positioned the body to leave, he discovered Crow wasn't fully dead. Floyd approached Crow, crouched down, and coldly demanded who attacked him. But Crow could only manage faint gasps, unable to utter any name, so Floyd finished him off himself. In one day, there were already 4 bodies. Shirley remarked that at this rate, everyone would be dead by tomorrow. Floyd, however, excitedly revealed he'd just ended Crow, and Kawayan, who helped carry the body, hadn't even realized Crow was still alive. Shirley suspected Kawayan was the killer and had already recognized they were the same kind of person, so she decided to test him. Shirley entered Kawayan's room to find him immersed in his art. He stated he must finish this piece before leaving since the motel would soon become a new crime scene. After brief talk, Shirley noticed red pigment on his desk. Kawayan explained it was paint mixed with his own blood and resin. He claimed this transformed victims from ghosts into tangibly perceived existences. Rewind 30 years, young Shirley burst into Floyd's dwelling. She confessed attending Catholic Mass every Sunday since childhood, yet her father died in a factory fire. The one responsible for the tragedy had been spared blame because of his contributions to the town, and it made her question how a just God could allow such a thing. Hearing Floyd's music outside church, lyrics challenging divine will, had cracked her worldview open. Now she came with burning questions. If God knew Satan would betray him, why cast him out? Floyd coldly replied, "Perhaps God didn't know, for he isn't all-knowing." Those words ignited a deep longing inside Shirley. She said she refused to accept that her fate had already been decided because she had not yet made her own choice. Shirley revealed a pendant around her neck, an invocation sigil. Floyd warned darkly that not all demons were alike. Satan wasn't Lucifer, but Shirley's eyes turned ever more determined. She elected to summon Baphomet, the Eden demon. She'd brought a neighbor's cat as sacrifice, hoping to appease the ancient entity. The innocent kitten became their first victim. More terrifying was the young mind's shift from questioning injustice to committing violence, enabled by a twisted ideological framework. This epitomized extremist radicalization. Back in the present, Kawayan prepared to draw more blood from himself once more.
I think you've bled yourself enough.
You're right. Would you mind? I've run out of painting supplies.
Shirley saw a perfect opportunity to further test Kawayan's nature, so she held out her arm and let him make a small cut on it. Shirley examined her wound, remarking Kawayan had clearly cut people before. Kawayan intently watched the blood blend with his pigment, admiring how it floated on resin bubbles. Later, everyone gathered, resolved to leave at dawn. Andy urged packing only essentials since the nearest town was 25 miles away, with streams and obstacles likely extending the trek beyond 30 miles. Floyd questioned whether it was wise to walk for 15 hours in such harsh weather, suggesting it would be better to stay put and wait for rescue, as once the storm passed, the Wi-Fi would come back and the police would arrive. Kawayan countered that risking escape beat waiting to die trapped, facing a killer potentially among them. Moving as a group felt safer. Ultimately, they agreed to meet in the lobby in 1 hour and depart at full sunrise. After everyone dispersed, Floyd resented Kawayan for ruining all their plans and decided to kill him directly. But Shirley intervened, believing that would make the remaining people scatter and flee. Floyd insisted they must stop everyone from leaving, or else follow the group and eliminate them one by one during the journey. Shirley suggested directly telling Kawayan they'd uncovered his identity as the killer, trying to recruit him. Floyd considered it too risky. Even if he was the killer, everything that guy did was for himself. He wouldn't want partners. As people packed their bags, Andy and Kawayan discovered Crow's head impaled on a flagpole. Kawayan urged Andy that they had to leave immediately, but when they turned around, the killer was right behind them. Kawayan immediately engaged in combat, but couldn't withstand more than a few moves before the killer's blade cut him. Seeing this, Andy mustered courage, charged, knocked the killer down, then pulled Kawayan back inside. Adriana witnessed this fight from her room. Kawayan urged everyone to take shelter indoors first. Floyd swiftly hid his mask in the ceiling. Meanwhile, Paige bandaged Andy's wounds in her room when Blake entered, demanding to inspect her shoes, suspecting the killer was among them. Finding Paige's shoes clean, Blake left the room. Blake then barged into Shirley and Floyd's room, demanding to see their shoes. Shirley questioned if Blake truly suspected her, but Blake didn't back down. Blake snapped at Shirley to stop stalling and produce the shoes. Floyd grew furious, seeing Blake yell at Shirley, grabbing his collar and slamming him against the back wall, instantly escalating tension. Others rushed in upon hearing the commotion to intervene. Blake broke down sobbing, confessing he couldn't bear the fear and pressure any longer. Floyd coldly reminded everyone a killer lurked outside. Venturing into the wilderness would only worsen things. Shirley reluctantly handed over her shoes for inspection. Kawayan insisted on seeking help outside, arguing strength in numbers allowed immediate reaction to threats, and asked Shirley to convince Floyd to join. Shirley initially spoke calmly, but her tone shifted to probing and suggestive, hinting everyone harbored hidden impulses and darkness. She even led Kawayan into thinking about whether, when he saw the bodies tortured to death, he had ever questioned the value of kindness or felt tempted to embrace his own darkness. Kawayan sharply detected Shirley's subtext, countering if she was fishing for information. Shirley smiled faintly, not directly denying.
I see. I could tell you I was the killer, who I just fought, by the way, and you'd be okay with it. You're as bad as all the other murder freaks in this motel. I think darkness is lame, violence is ugly, and Satan lovers are a joke. You can leave now.
Rewind 30 years again. Shirley said Satan had been forced to do all of God's dirty work, yet had to bear all the blame. Their plan was complex. To summon Baphomet, they needed Saturn's power. This planet, symbolic of darkness, fear, and barrenness, takes 30 years to orbit the sun, and in just a few weeks, it would complete its current cycle. They planned to open a gateway to the other side at the energy convergence point, using fire and blood during Saturn's return. But one question loomed: how much blood would it take? The answer was chilling. The blood of 6 people would be enough to satisfy the demon. Elsewhere, Adriana visited Blake's room. Blake spoke with instant edge, coldly telling her not to flirt, having no patience for her quirks now. Booker, in a mocking tone, reminded Adriana that she had stabbed Ruby once, and now, knowing Ruby wasn't the killer, she still showed no remorse. Silence stretched. Adriana finally admitted the idle waiting was maddening, the motel now terrifying her. Blake sneered that the woman who dated killers was finally scared. Adriana didn't bother replying. In her ears, she could faintly hear noises outside. Not long after Andy and Kawayan left, the sounds of fighting erupted. She knew it had to be Baphomet making a move. She stood at the window, her feet feeling like they were filled with lead, unable even to lift her head to look. Her throat tightened. She couldn't call out "stop," and she couldn't grip the knife. She was frozen in place, feeling utterly powerless for the first time. Sensing her fear, Blake's tone softened.
It's because you were scared as hell. I get it. Okay, believe me,
That was through a wall. When the time really comes, am I gonna freeze up? Am I gonna survive?
Blake quietly said no one knows how they'll react until tested, but congratulated her for finally reacting like a normal person. Adriana gave a faint, self-deprecating smile and asked if she could stay a little longer. He reluctantly agreed. To distract, Blake suggested fetching cards or snacks for them. Meanwhile, Floyd stated all lambs had been herded back into the pen, but they knew this calm wouldn't last long. They whispered it was time to start slaughtering. Shirley spoke of that Kawayan, calling him just another impotently angry lamb, disappointment thick in her tone. Then Floyd went to Kawayan's room.
I can already tell I'm in trouble. I'm not a pathetic old man past his prime and looking for my value in other people's eyes.
You have no idea who I am.
I think I have a pretty good idea.
You've been spoiling for a fight since day one. I guessed it.
Rage detonated completely. Their day one hostility finally erupted into direct conflict. After a fierce wrestling match, Floyd was overpowered and slammed heavily to the floor. Just then, Shirley quietly climbed in through the window, seized the moment to stab a knife into Kawayan's abdomen, then covered his mouth while whispering words. Floyd used his knife to slice open Kawayan's abdominal cavity. The entire room permeated with the smell of blood. After they left, the room fell into dead silence. Immediately after, a figure wearing a Baphomet mask slowly entered. He crouched down, drew a cross on Kawayan's forehead with blood-stained fingers, then resumed cutting the corpse cruelly. Soon after, Andy discovered Kawayan's body in a bone-chilling scene. The killer had stuffed Kawayan's artwork into his split-open abdominal cavity, surrounding it with his internal organs as if arranging a bloody altar. Scene shift. Rewind 30 years. Shirley and Floyd arrived at the energy convergence point, precisely where this motel now stood.